Augusta National is built on tradition, control, and respect. At the Masters, players don't just compete, they represent the game itself. That's why every word spoken here carries weight. But this time, something unexpected happened. Standing. In front of the media, Bryson DeChambeau said something simple, yet powerful enough to change the entire conversation. It wasn't loud, it wasn't emotional, but it was bold. And within moments, fans were divided. Analysts were reacting, and the golf world was asking one question. Did Bryson just cross a line at Augusta? The Masters has always been different from every other tournament. It's not just about performance, it's about composure, discipline, and respect for tradition. Every player who arrives at Augusta understands that this is not a place for unnecessary risks, not just in shots, but in words as well. The environment demands control, and most players follow that unspoken rule without question. But Bryson DeChambeau has never been like most players. From the beginning of his career, he built his identity on doing things differently. While others relied on feel and experience, Bryson trusted calculations, physics, and precision. That approach made him one of the most unique figures in golf, but it also made him one of the most talked about. Heading into the Masters, Bryson was already under attention. His past interviews, his bold opinions, and his analytical mindset had made him a constant topic in the golf world. Some admired his confidence, while others questioned his approach. But one thing was certain: people were watching him closely, and at Augusta, being watched closely changes everything. Every shot carries pressure, and every word carries even more. As the tournament progressed, that pressure slowly built. His performance had moments of control, but also moments where things didn't go exactly as planned. Small mistakes, small frustrations. But at the Masters, even small things feel bigger. It was the perfect setup. A player already in the spotlight, a tournament filled with pressure, and an environment where even the smallest moment can turn into something massive. All it needed was one moment to bring everything together. And that moment was coming. The moment didn't feel special at first. It was just another media interaction, the kind that happens all the time during a major tournament. The questions were normal, the setting was calm, and everything seemed routine. This was the part where players usually give safe, controlled answers and move on. But Bryson didn't give a typical answer. When the question came, he paused briefly, then responded with a level of honesty that immediately stood out. His tone was calm, but his words carried weight. He spoke directly about the course, offering an opinion that most players at Augusta choose to avoid. It wasn't emotional or aggressive, but it was bold enough to shift the entire mood of the moment. For a second, there was silence. Not confusion, not shock, but processing. The kind of silence where people realize they've just heard something unexpected. Bryson didn't try to soften his words or take them back. He stood by what he said, as if it was simply the truth, and that's what made it powerful. Within minutes, the moment started spreading. Commentators picked it up, discussions began, and what could have been just another answer turned into a headline. Suddenly, it wasn't just about his performance anymore, it was about what he said. As soon as the clip reached the public, the reaction was immediate. Fans across social media began sharing their opinions, and almost instantly, the IU golf world split into two sides. One group supported Bryson, seeing his statement as honest and refreshing. They believed that golf needed more personality, more real emotion, and less filtered responses. The other side saw it completely differently. To them, the Masters represents tradition and respect, and they felt that Bryson's words didn't fit that environment. It wasn't just about what he said, it was about where he said it. Augusta is known for its discipline, and for some fans, this moment felt like a break from that tradition. The debate grew quickly. Analysts joined in, comparing this moment to Bryson's past interviews and building a larger narrative around his personality. What started as a single comment turned into a bigger discussion about the role of expression in golf. Bryson was no longer just a player in the tournament. He had become the center of the story. Pressure affects every athlete, but how they respond defines them. Bryson DeChambeau has always responded differently. His approach to the game is built on logic and precision, and that same mindset shows in how he communicates. He doesn't always filter his thoughts the way others do, and that's what makes him stand out. But at Augusta, standing out comes with consequences. The Masters is built on tradition, and any deviation from that tradition becomes more noticeable. Bryson's personality naturally creates tension in that environment. Some see it as confidence, while others see it as a challenge to the norms of the sport. This moment highlighted something bigger than just one statement. It showed the contrast between traditional golf values and the evolving nature of modern athletes. Today's players are more expressive, more open, and more willing to show personality. Bryson represents that shift, whether intentionally or not. And because of that, every word he says carries more impact. He isn't just playing the game, he's influencing how it's perceived. What happened at the Masters wasn't just a moment, it was a turning point in how Bryson DeChambeau is viewed. His statement didn't just create a reaction, it created a conversation that goes beyond a single tournament. It raised questions about the balance between tradition and individuality in golf. Bryson may have only said a few words, but those words changed the narrative around him. From now on, every time he speaks, people will listen more carefully. Not just to what he says, but to what it represents. Because, in modern sports, perception matters just as much as performance. And moments like this don't disappear. They become part of a player's story. Bryson is no longer just known for his unique playing style. He's now known as someone who can shift the conversation with a single statement. And that means one thing. The next time he steps in front of a microphone, the entire golf world will be watching. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.